What up, people? We're gonna be reacting to this person that has. They're broke! Oh my god, that is so tough. Can't we all relate to being broke? Shit. Oh my god. I am so excited. I'm so excited to go over this video with you guys so we can go ahead and all see where it's all going wrong in the US. Because everything is expensive and government does not want to help us, the people that help pay their bills. Oh, that's crazy that the government doesn't want to help us, the people that help pay their bills. It's crazy work. Crazy work. But, that's life. That is life. Uh, Okay, let's go ahead and hop into this video. Okay, a couple announcements. So, I'm gonna be shutting down this YouTube channel soon. So definitely take advantage of asking all the questions. I definitely enjoy you guys and being able to teach, but from what I'm just seeing on my analytics versus what I'm seeing, um, something's going wrong. Can't really explain it. So, yeah. So I was like, there's just not really much you can do. It. I definitely take accountability because I think part of this is also my fault. Because again, I'm putting out the content, but you know, it doesn't seem to be getting the reaction that I need. So, um, so yes, so I'll be making a video going into a lot more in depth. But anyway, I want to react to this video because it's pretty much people being, people are poor. I was like, rich people. Well, at least the rich people are poor. So let's hop into it. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is the video. Well, this is gonna be part of the video. But yeah, we're gonna be reacting to this guy. I'm
Seven
excited.
Lithuanian men.
Let's go. I'll stay on. I'll be back. Hold on. Go. Hey, I'm back, jackasses. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Okay, so let's react to his video.
And walk into a
Yeah, don't really want to listen to you.
you never think that Mitsubishi Outlander
9% of especially Americans that are exuding this sort of opulence are creating a front to make it appear as if they are far wealthier than they actually are.
Facts. I guess it's not cool to be poor. It's not cool to be broke. I don't know. I get that. I get trying to wanna wanna be able to have the best life out there and wanting to know that you're not a failure in life. I can see why some people do that. I'm not gonna say it to everybody, um but yeah, people just don't want to feel like a failure. They are seeing that life is getting fucking hard. Like it is like I'm one of those people. I could definitely admit that. But you know, it's like people are just living without their means. People are just racking up credit card debt. Like there's people that there was this video I saw that where this person spent 30,000 at Disney. Like, who does that? Like, but again, it's you know, it's those people's. It's their money. It's their choice. But at the same time, it's like, well, it didn't seem like they were struggling based off the interview that I saw. So it's just this thing that people just want to be able to live this certain lifestyle, and I get it. Honestly, I would love to go into so much credit card debt to live this lifestyle, but I love my money too much. So it's one of those things. So, but anyway, let's continue. Let's continue.
And in doing some of the number
Stephen James, before he gets into the dealer on night for sport, if you want to play core 78 or like in a here like smart credit shit talks about luxury cars and all this stuff.
You know what? So this is Finance Channel. Let's actually react to that. Let's actually react to this sponsor real quick.
I'm going to jump in here real quick and just share
Okay.
my personal credit card information with you. Today's video sponsor is by Smart Credit. It's an app that I
Credit.
personally use. This is my favorite feature of it. This is actually my credit information. These are all my debts right now. Okay. But I like that it keeps it all in one place for you.
Yo,
I
he
don't need to
is
go
not
open a
in too
bunch of
much debt.
apps
That's
and
what I'm
things
talking
like
about right
that.
there.
But
That's
here's
what I
another
wanna
one of my
see.
favorite features is it shows you all your credits.
Yo, I know you see that credit score. 736? 736? Top tier. Let's take a guess. Let's take a stab at why I think he's at a 736. So he's definitely within his 30s. He definitely looks older. He definitely looks like he doesn't use credit a lot. So a lot of people that are within that type of level where they don't use a lot of credit, they're gonna tend to have the lower credit score. And I think that's just it. What this person can really be, that could pick a big stab. He just doesn't use credit. Doesn't have a lot of high credit limits. Maybe he does now, because again, it was like 9. Yeah, like right now, as you can see, he has like a 961, 808, 690s. So he must not have potentially really high credit limits, which I think, so if that's the case, maybe high credit utilization, maybe he's had a missed payment or two when it came to building his credit. Maybe he's missing an installment loan, because again, I watch this person very frequently. He gives some insight that I enjoy hearing in the videos, just him reacting to. So he doesn't have any car loans. He has a home. I don't think it's financed. So I don't think he has a lot going on in credit, which again, I am not knocking him for it. God, I think we all could be better if we were like Jack. Because imagine if you just didn't have any debt in your life. Well, also, like, you'll have, like, your house, your car insurance. Like, you'll have that stuff. But maybe that would cost you maybe $200 to $2,500. Right? Oh, God, even that's, oh my God. Even being out of debt doesn't help. Oh my God. Because rent is just crazy. Rent is more than $1,000. And most people are not making that much money. Like, if you're making $30 an hour, that's close to $60,000 a year. And depending on the state you live in, like, you just won't be making enough money. Like, rent is at least $1,500 and above. Like, that would eat up at least almost half of your income. And then if you have a family, like, it's gonna be really tough. So even if you eliminate debt, it's gonna be really tough unless your income is increasing. But overall, we gotta be like Jack, though. Jack doesn't seem like he has a lot of debt. So, and again, I only know based off what he shows. So what you know, I know. That's all I know. All right. All right, let's continue breaking down this ad.
apps and things like that. But here's another one of my favorite features is it shows you all your credit scores based from every credit bureau, which I really like. I'm at a 730. Pretty solid considering I was at a 500. Gives you your auto score if you want to make a bad decision and go get a car. Okay. Your insurance score, apparently.
So auto credit score is a real thing. So that is actually something I will let you guys know, is that your credit score for an auto, that is a thing. Like you, though, that is only specifically for you whenever you're purchasing an auto. Whenever you need to look at your credit because you need autos, that is one of those credit scores. The insurance one, there's a company called LexisNexis. They actually use an insurance credit score. Let's actually take a look here, and so you can see LexisNexis insurance score. All right, let's see if we can get a picture. No, we're gonna try Google because Google's always better than Bing. Microsoft, you gotta do better. You guys are trash. Insurance score. Oh, I guess an insurance score goes up to 997. Shit. Let's see if we can see what a credit score from an insurance score looks like. Da da da. What is this? Home insurance. Okay, I think this may be the best we can do. All right, so here it is. So as we established, they go up to about almost 1,000 in a credit score. So I guess this is what a credit score from home insurance looks like. So yeah, take your feet, take your chances, and no, this is where you scan from. So this is something that I've never really looked into, is auto insurance scores, because there's really nothing you can really do as compared to like credit. Like how do you overcome, like how do you overcome being able to get a higher insurance score? That is something that needs to be made. I would if I was an insider in auto insurance, but I'm not. I am an insider for the banks. That's who I work for, so that's why I say take advantage with me, because there's no one that's dropping this information of credit like how I do. I will promise you that. Take a look through all my catalogs. You guys will not be disappointed. But yeah, that's an auto insurance score. So that is a thing. Just so you know. Okay, let's continue on this video.
Apparently, insurance now grades you based on your credit, so that's perfect. Okay, just keeps getting worse. This is a funny feature. Your hiring risk index. Yeah, hiring people are going to look at this score. Right now, I'm a B student. I'm not even a B plus. Not a good look.
You average, bro.
But here's another cool thing that Smart Credits actually really helped me with is right here. So right here is like the score tracker and your score builder and your score booster, right? So you want to do plus 90 points or plus 78 points. They're going to give you the exact.
Okay, here's the problem with that. The problem with that is that we don't know where they're getting this information from. Like, he's showing us this, but Smart Credit's like, okay, is this based off FICO, which is Experian, which, you know, that's who the credit scores. Whenever you're applying for a loan, that's who credit score we always see. Experian is always the best. Doesn't matter what anybody tells you. Experian is still being used, but it is transitioning to Vantage. So the scores that Credit Karma use, which is called Vantage Score, and like the ones that you have access through like your bank's app that lets you see your credit scores, that uses Vantage Credit Score, which is another credit score model as opposed to FICO. Think of it like two different companies that have two different type of number results. If you do all this with Vantage, you'll get this type of score. If you do all this with FICO / Experian, you'll get this type of results. That's a pretty easy way to look at it. If not, put twos in the chat. I'll take a look at it and I'll try to re-explain it. If you guys are this slow to understand English, but nah. I'm messing with you guys. Am I? I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. But that's something about that I don't like, is where they're getting this data from and how reliable and how is it going to help you get a loan. Lock in, people. Is these questions you gotta ask. These are the questions you gotta ask. Come on. Alright, let's continue on this video.
Thing to do. Like, all you do is got to click on it. You go, how do I boost my score? It shows you how much you need to pay to boost your score and exactly what cards you should pay off first. Actually, really dope. Here's another cool thing, too. Let's say you have, like, claims on your account, and you know you'd have to hit them up and dispute the claim? Well, they'll do it for you. They'll not even do it for you. They will send them a handwritten letter. Okay? Not that it's a guarantee, but they go the extra mile. Right? It'll be like,
well, something to at least know, like with that stuff, like you still need to provide them documentation. So you'll have to, like, when I'm disputing people's credits, like I have to get their IDs, I have to get a utility bill, like that needs to be sent. So that's not something that's being mentioned in this video, you know, just kind of like a FYI.
I would request a goodwill removal of this negative rating to be reported on my credit card report. And they'll send them a physical letter. Okay? Go the extra mile. And it might not work, but they do it on your behalf. So you don't have to sit here and go do that to 7 different entities.
At least he honest about that it might not work. That's why I like Jack. Jack he's very genuine. Online, though, I don't know about him in real life.
Right here, John Smith, he was found on 6 websites. They're trying to sell John Smith's information. You should have saw mine. I had 58 websites, dude. I'm still fighting these fools. I'm like, no, get these guys off. So that's a really cool feature that I like too. But really just the building the credit score feature is my favorite part. You go to smartcredit.com or download them in the App Store. And if you use my link down below, you get a 7 days for $1. 7-day kind of free trial. $1 is basically nothing nowadays. But anyway, shout out to Smart Credit, and yeah, get your credit right, or don't. Yeah. Well, now my credit's good now, after years of not being good. I'm just saying though. Okay.
Oh.
Pringle.
See the pattern that had shifted over the years, and follow with me if you will. Remember back into the 1990s, the early 2000s, when you might have been able to buy a home in some parts of the country for a nice home too. 150K.
God damn.
You might be able to get a used car, have it paid off, drive that thing around for a period of time.
Are you kidding me? Town.
Priced ticket items were the TVs, the game systems.
Yeah. Oh, he not lying. Remember when TVs used to be so expensive? I remember the big old box, and it was really long in the back. Those were like a couple $1,000s when they first came out, and now you can get I got a is this a 65 inch? Yeah, 65 inch for I think $350. 65 inch. Can you imagine that? I have that. I was I like a big TV, and I like it when it's big and it's in a small area, because then it looks a lot more huge than what it is. So, but yeah, yo, he brings up a great point. Things are now, they're just things cars used to be a lot more cheaper. Also, as they oppose, I just read an article about how now the average car is $50,000. In what fucking world is that shit supposed to be $50,000? Where? Where? But I don't know. That's just what it is. That's the type of life that majority of us are living. It's just life is just really expensive, and it makes it really hard to try to stay positive and look forward in life. I know I've struggled with that, and especially within the last couple of years, and still going through it. So uh, I understand what this guy's saying in his his video. So this is crazy, but let's go ahead and hop back into it.
You know, some of the trips that you would buy and pay for. Your basic necessities and things that you needed to live weren't nearly as priced out as all the extras were.
Yes.
Now, fast forward to today, where everything that's a basic necessity is now hyper expensive. Housing prices.
And I gotta go to the grocery store later. Ugh, I don't fucking want to go. Oh my god, it's gonna be so expensive just for like 3 bags. 3 fucking bags. 3 bags is probably gonna cost me like $100. Oh Jesus, help me. Alright, no, we good. It's all good. We good. Alright, let's continue with the video.
Have skyrocketed way out of reach. There are places not far from me that used to have homes that were 150K that are now over $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's same.
Oh, 1,000%. And then
But we've done this strange sort of switch over that I think is very intentional, to where people no longer actually have money. They spend all of their time presenting a false front of looking opulent, looking affluent, when they actually have nothing.
Ain't that the truth? That is the truth. Let's see. Why is it that we're like this? I think there's a good majority of the people that are like this. Hold on. Fucking cold in this place. Okay. What is the reason people are like this? Why are people like this? We like to let people know that they got it. We like for people to know that they got it, and like, look at me. So I think it really comes down to attention. People are just very attention seeker. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of like that, but not really. And you can tell that about me if you follow me on social media. Like, I don't post a lot. I like to live in the moment. Honestly, is really what it is. Just being there. Like, I have to remember myself to like record sometimes, because I like to make videos. I like to edit videos of like trips I've gone out to, and so now I have to get used to like making content because I actually saw that I enjoy video editing. That's pretty fun to be able to show a story. But yeah, like, I have a nice car, but that's about it. If I could have the finer things in life, honestly, I really would. Why not? Like, why? But to put myself in this position where I may not have food or a roof over my head, nah, that can never be me. Nah, you guys don't know I'm broke. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep for me. Like, and the thing is like, everything that people say about like your car, like, so for me, the car that I have, it's a really nice car, and I have gotten looks on it. You know, that was like a good part of why I got the car that I got. But majority of it, like, it hasn't done anything like for me besides get me A to B. And actually, it makes me feel really good because it's a convertible. It's a convertible. If you guys seen the shorts, you'll see it. And I ain't gonna lie, I love a convertible. It's a really nice car to have, to be able to just look up, like it's breathtaking. So, but sometimes I can't always do that because again, I'm driving. I'm never the passenger king. I'm the driver. So, but anyway, for what this guy, the whole point of, oh my God, the whole point of this is stop living above your means. Like, we have to collectively come together, and I hate save money, because the thing is, like, life is just so hard. Like, we are all dealing through something that only we can control and we can change. And until we don't get ourselves out of that situation, it'll be hard to like want to move on. Like, you just want to be in a happier place. So we all have to work on it. So let's start. Depending on how these videos go, this can maybe be your outlet. I'll be glad. I love helping people. That's why I like. That's why I love the job that I do. Like, I make decision on loans and I help people repair their credit, and it's so refreshing to be able to help people. And yeah, but overall, stop being so attention seeking, people. I understand as a person that's like that, but the narcissism isn't at an all time high with me. So I don't know. You guys get it together. I already been getting it together. I'm just here trying to remind you to get it together. All right, let's go. Let's continue. All right.
I think that this is a deliberate thing to try to entrap the rest of us that are looking at all of this almost like it's a form of a psyop, if you will, to trying to get us to spend money that we shouldn't be spending, which is why I try to encourage everybody on this channel to just keep your head low, get as much out of debt as you possibly can, stack cash where you possibly, the best places that you possibly can. Try to find a way to start some form of a business or something to where you're not entirely reliant on one stream of income. Plan your exit from your job just in case, because now
It's so fucked up that come on, they're
I'm here to tell you, we don't
flops
care.
for even themselves.
I'm here for the
Fucking
videos.
would you go right?
around people like this ever.
Steve James, back to you, brother.
Nowadays, that is important more than ever. But I'm wondering how many of you have noticed this, that it gets pushed in your face even if you don't encounter people like this, but on social media every time you turn around. Luxury poverty is being pushed into your face. And I will tell you this as somebody who has not just done my own investing in the past, but I've worked doing contract work with people and with investors that will tell you flat out, the people that are flashing it all, especially even back in the day, were absolutely the ones that didn't have any money. And we've also got another disturbing trend on top of all of this, where there are young women online.
That's pretty true, though. That's
All right, you want to stop? We'll stop too. He's right. As the only time that I'm on social media is when I'm have to post. That's really when I'm at social media. Like, I'm not a person that indulges in social media, but for a person that's not really there that much, like, I do see what he's talking about, luxury poverty. I do see the people living in the nice houses, driving the nice cars. They always have the red leather in the background. So this is stuff that I notice. It's part of my job to be attention to detail, so I can't help it. But, be so intrigued into it when I do see it. Because, it's just stuff that just pops out. It's just like, oh, okay, well, well, it's like that's just what people decide to post. But when they're in this position where they can't, they don't have money to survive, and they need to declare bankruptcy. Filing for bankruptcy isn't the worst as what it really it really feels. You just borrowed too much money, and that's it. So I don't see bankruptcy as really as much of a big deal for that fact that, well, hey, I used to get it, I don't got it anymore. Oh, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, sorry, like I can't pay you back. Like, see, I can understand if you would go to jail for filing bankruptcy, but you don't. And then, but the problem is that you can't file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy again until 7 to 10 years. So, yeah. So it's like if you are going to use it, it's kind of like your free out of jail card. Then, yeah, use it that once and learn from your mistakes. So, yeah, let's continue with this video.
Women to chase after that false front as something that they should be aspiring to try and lock down, a guy that's putting forth some sort of a, luxury poverty front so that it looks like they're hitting the jackpot when they get involved with this individual, which is the irony of things. Is their approach, the young women's approach, is completely false, dishonest. And then they get mad at the young man's approach, which was also completely false and dishonest, when the con artistry kind of cancels itself.
Yo, that is crazy for you to feel this way, and for you to think that for you as a person, like for the women that just run around always, it's all about money, 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 money. And I was like, I get it, but it can't be all about money. It was like, it realistically can't. Because if it can, then you would see a lot more success stories. But if they don't, women are divorcing men at a really high alarm rate. So, and then they're just wanting to, instead of fix their relationship, they just want to move on to the next, which is kind of stupid. I ain't gonna lie, it's like you're right here. So like with your relationship, this person provides you a certain level of lifestyle, and it's like up here. You're willing to break that off, start from zero, and go from here to here again, and go through all this sufferment, thinking, hey, I'd rather go through this and then potentially not be able to know if this person's going to be dependable. Because the guy that you're married to, you know them. So it's like, you can understand when things are getting better, things are being put off, or things are off, that the relationship is going bad. But with someone else, you're learning about that person. So it's like, why would you want to start from ground zero? Honestly, the only people that I can see that will start from ground zero are going to be the people that have gone through the extreme shit in life. They're in an abusive relationship, I was like, they're in an abusive relationship, whether it's physical or mentally. You guys can't see eye to eye. You guys are like physically hurting each other. Like, there's more crazier scenarios that I understand. Okay, that makes sense. But because you are tired, what was the whole point of you getting married? Because, it's like you have your vows towards their end. Does that not mean anything? So, it's very interesting. His perspective and how it's so true. Because, that's really all what majority of the women try to chase. And the ones that don't, like, the ones that have it, you better fucking not fuck it up. Like, this is for both men and women. If these streets ain't fun. I'm telling you right now, this shit is not fun. So, yeah, get it together, guys. Get it together. All right.
Out on both ends.
Dude, that's so funny. I had this happen recently. So this chick who's friends with
I will listen to a little bit what he says.
my girlfriend, right? Or not friends, but before we go to the comment section here, I'm gonna get in the comments, but this is kind of fucked up. So she has no idea about my YouTube channel or that I make a good living. She just sees exterior, right? And I don't care, right? People are gonna perceive me when I pull up in my 2007 old cop car, right? Like that's just what they think. You're either grandpa or you're black or you're broke. That's kind of how my car is perceived. It just is what it is, right? And she sees me on Instagram. We don't have a big following. You don't even make money on fucking Instagram anyways. I'm monetized on there. You don't make shit unless you're selling a product or something. But this chick reaches out and goes, oh, are you dating this guy? Because she sees like a photo of us together. She's like, yeah. And she's like, you deserve better than that, sis. Like dating some bum loser.
Oh my God.
And, you know, I'm sitting there like, what? Like, who is this person? I go look at her.
Oh my God. You see? And again, it's certain types of women. It's not all women, but those type of women that he's talking about, those are the ones that are going to stay by themselves. They'll be able to find somebody and be taken care of, but it's not going to be a happy relationship. Yo, she say you deserve better. It's always the single ones that are always telling you can do better, yet they haven't done better. Shit's crazy. Wow. But I just wanted to stop and just, that shit was crazy.
Her page, I'm like, she's like 40 and she's single. She's still chasing like some rich guy that doesn't exist.
You see what I said? She's 40 and she's single. Like, she's talking all this shit and she like... Instead of saying, oh, you deserve better, she should be asking, what did you do to attract him? Because she's up. She's winning. He takes care of her. She up. When he up, she up. And the other one's down. She down bad. She like 40 and single. Still. Yo, this is crazy. Let's continue, yeah.
Literally, like this is the person, and I just discarded it, but it was just funny to bring up that it's like no, you're looking for me. Like I'm the guy that could like make you be a stay-at-home wife.
Yep.
I just don't look like it. Well, right now I don't really have an income. I do, kind of. Like I have enough money coming in. We'll be fine. I'll get back on everything. It's okay to crash and burn and build yourself back up. But like, even if would you even want to be with someone like that? No. Like, what if I was with a woman like that? All of a sudden I go, hey, maybe for 2-3 months, we can't really spend any money. She's just going to jump ship. I'm not rich enough. It's kind of funny though, that he's got a good point about that. But if I look the part, right? Like if I look the part, that she'd be like, oh my God, you're killing it. Meanwhile, like I can't afford to really do anything and I'm making my woman go pay for everything, which you should. Get that pam strong, get that money. I'm just saying things are a little backwards, you know. We're not even going to go down the dating rabbit hole, okay? If you're a woman looking for a guy who could take care of everything, good fucking luck, okay? Good luck. Good luck. And it probably isn't the guy you think it is.
Yep.
That's the best part. Okay. This guy's also, his name's Stephen James. He is a 7'7" gentleman from Minnesota. His uncle is, I don't know.
Out here giving us gems.
It's a cool guy.
Follow Jack.
I'm comfortable financially, but spend very little. The best thing about having money isn't buying stuff, but going to bed at night, not worrying about money. Yeah, that's a big one, especially like if you do want a partner, like you're someone like a wife or if you're gay, you like men, you know, you prefer penis It's hard because you got to be on the same page money wise. Like I got to be a stickler all the time. Be like, no, we can't spend money.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
It's not because we don't have it, but it's not how much you make, but how much you spend, right?
Exactly. That's annoying. Like today, like I want to go out. Honestly, I want to go out and spend some money. But I can't because life. So it's like I have to, and then I'm also trying to work on making some additional income. So yeah, that's that.
A man with no bills is a rich man,
Ooh.
or possibly homeless. Okay, it's all a facade. People act like they're living in a movie to impress people who couldn't care less about them.
Damn.
1000%. Like
That movie
honestly,
flopped.
this car on the shirt is almost more fun than the actual car.
Yeah, I don't.
Isn't that crazy? The idea of it is more. That's a lie. I love driving it, but like the shirt doesn't break down.
Bro,
You know,
so
like
crazy.
I don't know how I'm trying to explain that. The idea of it is almost better than the car.
That's funny.
Although this car only cost me 10 grand just outright. But like, yeah, sometimes I think we think things will be when we get there or when we have that thing, and it's actually not. The money's better, right? I'd rather pull up with 50 grand cash chilling in the trunk of this car than pull up in the Porsche and I only got 5 grand left because I spent it all. That's just how I feel about it. And we're not saying everybody driving a Porsche is broke. I'm not saying that. Some people are just rich, guys. Some people got it like that.
Yep.
Some
Lucky
people
them.
make fucking big money, dude.
No, not lucky them.
And a lot of people don't make big money.
Look, the people. I gotta stop saying the people that are rich, lucky them. A lot of them did stuff that were really illegal. I'm not gonna lie. You can look at a lot. Let's take our politicians for example. The government, like the senators, majority of them indulge in insider trading. Insider trading is when only a select people. Insider trading is you making a financial decision on the stock market to buy a certain stock because you have some information that everybody else doesn't have. Which, you know, if that's the case, imagine if we were all in a group and I learned that the economy was going to go down. So I started selling everything. Maybe I filed bankruptcy. Maybe I got like 2 or 3 jobs. You guys don't see me. And then the economy tanks. It's like, and then I'm like, oh, you guys weren't prepared for this? Wait, were you prepared for this? When did you know? How long did you know? Wouldn't you feel angry at your friend? I ain't gonna lie, I would kind of feel mad. I'm like, so you knew this was gonna happen, and you ain't say shit? Nah, yo, I don't know. I gotta reevaluate our friendship if you do that shit to me. Like, nah, you come out of that's out of pocket. You can't be doing that. So that's pretty much what insider trading is, and a lot of like the senators in the government, a lot of them do that. Nancy Pelosi, she is probably one of the biggest ones that does it. Unfortunately, they can't prove it. I think they can't prove it because they're not trying hard enough. I honestly really think that's what it is. Like, if the government would hide all the conspiracy theories, like, remember about the aliens? Remember no one used to talk about aliens? Now the government is okay with aliens being talked about. Like, if the government's willing to, like, hide that, and then also COVID, like, what else don't you think they're willing to hide? I don't trust them. Because their actions has made me not trust them. That is really why. So that's essentially really what I'm trying to say about how being rich isn't about being lucky. Rich is about doing unethical stuff. That's really what it is. So, let's continue. All right, let me make sure. Anybody ask any questions? All right, no one asked no questions. All right. Remember the countdown to the channel closing down.
Money, but look as if they do. This is kind of where we're getting at. In America, rich people look poor and poor people look rich. See, I think I'm on the right track. Pulling up in what people would perceive as a hoopty. Yes. A hoopty by Urban Dictionary is a piece of shit car. All right, here we go. I recently deleted Facebook and Instagram, left my wife, ditched all my... No, I'm just joking.
I know. I was like,
It's simple. Spend the money they don't have on stuff they don't need to impress people they don't like. I'm still going to blame credit card companies, guys. Just handing out money that people don't even know what to do with it. Right? Like, how do you make money make money?
Yeah, that's a great point.
I'm going to end on that note. Invest.
This was a solid video. I enjoyed this video a lot from him. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is very interesting. This has been a very interesting video. Hopefully you guys were able to learn. We're going to react to this other one. We're going to do being poor versus poor versus millionaires. This is going to be a solid video. That's the one we're going to do. That is the one we are going to do. All right. So, give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment. It's gonna be a good video. Let's see what we learn here financially. Alright, here we go. Is being poor a choice? Ain't no fucking choice. Being poor is not a fucking choice. What kind of fucking intro is that? Get a load of this guy. I was trying to do the Conor McGregor thing. Being poor is a choice. I can't get over that. Alright, let's start off on this first question. Let's see if being poor is a choice.
Well, I currently am poor, very, very, very poor. And it might not always be their choice, but I do believe it's a choice. Absolutely.
What do you mean by that? That's not their choice. Well, elaborate.
Some people wind up in certain situations illegally in certain ways, you know, or some parents don't do certain things that they should, whatever. But I believe it is essentially, if you're not gonna get out and get it, then you're choosing not to.
Valid.
I have a follow-up question for you. Why do you think they choose to be poor?
Because it's hard to build. It's hard to build something, and it's scary to build something. And there's more excuses. There's more excuses than there are.
I don't know if I certainly agree with that. Being poor is not a choice. I think it is I think it's more of maybe it is because majority of the people are lazy. So look at all the fat people walking around. You know, the people that are unhealthy. Like, if that wasn't the case, then if that wasn't the case, then I think there would be a lot more successful people. So maybe it is a choice. Huh. Because I was like, because the thing is that you have certain things, people are in certain situations, but also there's the knowledge. Like, there's so much knowledge out there, but the problem with that is that you can't also give the excuse of being in your environment. Because the thing is that you also, like, I look at it as a relationship. A relationship is a two-way street. Like, a relationship isn't gonna be successful if it's just one-sided, right? Imagine if it's just the man that's putting so much into the work. He's taking you out on the dates. He's showing you that he's special. He's going to the gym. He follows up with you, asks you question. Hey, how are you doing? What do you think about our relationship? He's emotionally intelligent. You see that he's in a career that he makes you that he can get you out of this poor situation. But then on your end, you don't do any, like, you do like almost the bare minimum. But that's the thing, a relationship isn't just about bare minimum. Like, you have to meet the expectations of the relationship. So I don't know, it makes it really hard if it's a if poor is a choice. This is a tough question. You guys let me know in the chat. Let me know what you guys think.
Our solutions.
A lot of times, the reason someone's poor is because of they lose here before they lose anywhere else. Because we all have the same amount of time in a day. I know it sounds cliche, but it's how you're using that time. So 100%, if you're spending your day and you're not choosing to be productive in any way, it could even be as simple as getting a job or work.
Oh, I don't know. Yo, he really thought he cooked. Like, the thing is, like, he does, like, on a foundational level, he makes sense. But the problem is that everyone comes in a different walk of life. So there are some people that are in a financial situation, some people that are not, some people that actually like what they do and they don't want to change their situation. So there's a lot. So for him to say that you lose here, I don't think it's mentally you lose. I think it is financially you lose, because the government will never want to show people how to build credit. They will never want to, like, show people how to be financial literate. They'll never want to show people how to take advantage of taxes like they do. Like, this is all stuff you have to take an initiative to do and find out. Or, yeah, because again, either it can be that you find out through researching. It can be that you find out because you hired someone and they may have taken the time, or maybe you ask, hey, explain this to me. How were you able to determine that, hey, this tax deduction is what I qualify for, right? Or maybe you get lucky and you win the lottery, so then you're able to, like, learn from your choices and your mistakes. So I don't entirely agree with this guy's premise about that. So, let's continue.
Working, saving some money, I think that's how you stay poor. So especially in the 21st century, when there's thousands of ways to get
Tech.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get it with AI.
I mean, I would say if you're under the age of 18, you're a child, you know, but after the age of 18, everything beyond that point is just, it's your choice.
I believe that if you have a mental disability or a physical disability, that obviously you're not in the same playing field. More likely you are going to end up in poverty. But if you don't have any kind of disability, then there really kind of is, like, no excuse for me, I feel like. And if you work hard, go to school, put yourself out there, commit, I feel like you should be successful.
I think ultimately being poor is a choice.
I love what she said. The only thing I don't agree with is that she said if you work hard. I think work hard is part of it, but at this point, like, how everybody is looking rich on social media, I don't think it's just hard work. Personally, I don't think hard work really plays as strong role as people think. Like me, I am working hard. Like, I'm working hard trying to educate people on credit. And for me, it's not going the best. And I'm just like, well, I'm working hard. I'm committing. I'm putting content that I think people are liking. It's kind of hard when, they don't engage back. So I don't know what is working. So it is kind of like a game that I'm playing with the audience. It's like, okay, I'm trying to guess. What is it that you want to see about helping you improve your credit? Because it's like, I understand how to repair your credit with all the insight and the information that I learned about being in the financial industry. And then I'm a person that approves you for a loan. So it's like, so if a person that's in the inside giving you the secret isn't enough, it's like, so wait. So that's why I say, like, working hard isn't really part of it. I think people, when they do get themselves out of those situations, they will work hard. But the results really, I think, is what shapes people, is whether you get a positive response or a negative response, you're going to react a way. Whether it's positive or negative, that's a different story. Like negative, like a reinforcement, like for you to, like, you're putting in this hard work, you're grinding, you're setting yourself up with a calendar, you're learning new skills, you're taking time that maybe you can be given to something else, and then you just see that it's just not working, and yeah, like that would make you not want to continue going, because it's like, well, I am trying my hardest, I am doing research, try to make sure that I can set myself up to much as being success, but there's only so much you can do in control to that. So I don't know, it's very interesting, very interesting. Let's continue.
But there's a ton of nuances. If you look at Mexico, for example, it's like 130 million people. It was like 55 million of them can't find like adequate housing. That's not their fault. So I'd say there are cases where people have no choice in them being poor. 80% of the people that are unhoused is due to trauma. Think of you as, you know, you're doing whatever you're doing in your life. You got a job, you're a plumber, an electrician, whatever, you're making a decent wage. And your wife and kids, they're coming home from a soccer game, semi-truck T-bones them, they die. That would be such significant trauma that could really easily lead to not wanting to work for a little bit. 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you can't go back to work, or you don't have a community and a support system in place that can help you get through that and the capital to get through that, it's a pretty fast domino effect from you're missing work, you're missing rent, you're in a shelter, you're on the street, and if it's that type of trauma, the fastest way to get out of it is going to be a substance. The lack of trauma being addressed is the biggest contributor to the unhoused crisis that you guys have.
I kind of
Fuck that bullshit. Fuck that. I know you guys heard that. Fuck that bullshit. That's a bullshit answer. The reason why I say it's a bullshit answer, because, like, that's a very extreme example. Like, yes, people die every day, but that is not the normal. Like, it's not like millions and millions of people are dying. He could have had a better example of saying the layoffs that people are going through right now. Every company is laying off. That can easily turn into you being unhoused and getting evicted. He could have said that shit. But he wants to go to the extreme and choose, oh yeah, when people die. Not enough people die for that to be a normal occurrence that just happens on a day-to-day. People do die day-to-day, but not at the rate that it's causing people to be evicted or people's houses to be sold because they can't pay for it. It's not that. So I don't know what is it this guy is actually... That was a bad take. Oh, Jesus. And these are the people that they put on the platform. That's why they need to bring somebody like me. Jubilee, bring me on. Let me cook his ass. I'm like, really? 80%? In what world? In what world would you? Whatever. Let's see if this person agrees or disagrees with them.
disagree with that, because I know you said trauma causes it, but I think trauma is also subjective, right? Like there's like the parable about the two brothers where their dad was an alcoholic, and then one grows up to be an alcoholic, and he blames his dad. You know, the other brother, who he grew up, became successful, didn't touch alcohol. They ask him why, and it's the same reason. The same trauma, but it just affected each one differently. So trauma or things out of our control may contribute, but I still don't think it changes the fact that being poor is a choice.
I come from Russia, so in Russia, it's a very tough mentality. I grew up in like a small village, and a lot of people could have like a victim mentality, but they don't. They toughen it out, and they just keep going no matter what. So when I came to America, I noticed it's super, super different than it is in Europe and Eastern Europe especially, because people just here have a lot of like this victim mentality, and a lot of times it's like, it's crazy, but people in Russia don't even talk about mental health, which I don't think is right either. But in Russia, it's like you don't get depressed, you don't have bad days, you're not allowed to have bad days. So I feel like in the United States, we almost over talk about it, almost baby them, and sometimes I'm like, you need to be tougher in life.
Well, I first want to say that seeing people come up here and say that poverty is a choice is very highly offensive, and I want to let you know that all four of y'all being millionaires, I find that deeply insulting for you to say that it was a choice for me to be poor. Now, one of you brought up the myth that if you go to school and work hard, then you just be successful. I graduated from UCLA despite getting my GED in prison. When I went to LSU to study for my MFA, I went there as a single parent with my daughter to Baton Rouge, and we were homeless there. And working at LSU as a graduate teaching assistant, I was still in poverty. My daughter couldn't access good schools because of racism. She was in a segregated school where she didn't get the same services as the white kids. And it's funny for you to say that you come from Russia, and so we have a victim mentality here. But you can come from Russia to the United States of America and have white privilege that I can't access. I've been arrested for walking through Los Feliz just for the color of my skin. Is that a victim mentality, or am I being victimized? There's a big difference there. So I want to say that all of you should check your privilege at the door. I never chose to be poor. No one from my background has ever chosen to be poor. Neither do any demographic that is living in poverty in this nation. We face discrimination on a daily basis, and we're doing everything in our power to lift ourselves up by our bootstraps, as you tell us to. But continually, you guys get all the benefits, all the resources. We don't have any type of homeless PACs that can go lobby on our behalfs. We don't have any representation, and we don't have any real opportunities.
So you don't have any opportunities?
Do I have this?
Wow, I love him, even though I don't agree with him 100%. He came strong. It was his presence. He had a great presence. He let him know, like, fuck all that. Like, he didn't choose to be poor. Damn. I like his take. I think he is being a little bit more emotional than what he needs to. He's taking it personally, which is not what you're supposed to take it. But he's taking it personally. So, yeah. So when you're taking it personally in that way, now your judgment is starting to be clouded. Your thinking process, I think, for you to process what is being said versus what you want to say becomes a little bit more difficult to understand. And yeah, like, I think he's going to make his situation a little rough for himself, but I don't know. Like, I don't agree with him because, again, being poor was a choice at the end of the day. So whatever choice he decided to take on his career, because he mentioned he was in college, why didn't he get into something that was going to pay more? That's a choice. He deals with discrimination. I'm not gonna lie, I believe it is. I've never gone through it. I want to say I've never have. I may have and never knew about it. Because I'm a person, I like to see the good in people, but I've never been personally, so it's kind of hard to believe that. But he's making this about himself, and I like how he mentioned about lobbying. I love somebody mentioning about lobbying because it doesn't get made enough. There's no company on our behalf that are protecting us. So it's like, why? Like, I can understand why he's angry, and I get it. I'm not all the way there, because again, there were still some choices there that he made. Like, it wasn't. No one told him and the girl that he had a baby with to not have a condom. No one told him to be to be for him to be a single parent. No one told him to get the degree that he got. No one told him to move. So all of these are choices that a person is making. So it's interesting for him to say that. While despite he made certain choices that made his own life difficult. But let's say if he cooked though. He cooked a little bit. He was cooking. He was seasoning pretty well. He was flipping it over. But let's see if he can serve it up.
Same opportunity as you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Your words, mine. We don't have.
We don't have representation. We don't have the same opportunity.
No, your words was.
Yeah.
We don't have
the same opportunity as you. We don't have the same opportunity.
So we're changing the wording, which is fine. And I can't even possibly disagree. I'm not in your shoes. I'm walking in your shoes.
I'll say this. I grew up poor. My mom immigrated from another country. I'm brown. I'm almost as dark as you. You know, I understand where you're coming from, because I do agree that it is harder as a black man to have opportunities, but at the same time, explain all of the black millionaires I know that are close friends of mine that feel the exact same way. And I wish one of them were here, because then he could speak to you. It's harder coming from, I guess, white people. I'm the brownest one, so I feel like I have to speak on their behalf. But we came here, I had a single mom. Dad left when I was like 2 years old. So I understand how it feels to have nothing, but also at the same time, you don't feel like you have any opportunity?
Because you bring up exceptionalism and you try to use yourself and really insulted me by talking about the color of my skin, you're almost as dark as me, because you try to bring up there's other black millionaires. See, what you're doing right now is you're trying to talk about anomalies for my community. There's a racial wealth gap that you can't address. You're not an African American, and you bringing up a couple millionaires here and there doesn't change the fact that the majority of all the wealth in this nation is in the hands of white people. African Americans here have not gotten any reparations. Wealth has not been passed down for generations. We had to deal with redlining. We had to deal with Jim Crow. We had to deal. We still to this day. I was the first one in my family to be born with civil rights. My dad was born before the passage of the Civil Rights Act. I don't have civil rights. I've been wrongfully convicted, wrongfully arrested. I started getting arrested at 11 years old. I'm not brown. I'm a black man in America, and I don't relate to your experience or what you're bringing up, because in my communities that I've lived in the poverty I've lived at the Union Rescue Mission in Skid Row. I've lived in South LA in the ghettos. Where I've lived at, there are no millionaires. The only millionaires are the real estate owners, the slumlords, who are exploiting us. Show us where in our community are these opportunities. Where's the investment?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree that it's going to be harder. I'm not saying it's not going to as easy as it would be for anyone else. I'm not saying that. But you just said that I chose anomalies, people that are exceptionalism. Do you believe you can be exceptional?
I'm not here to represent myself and my exceptionalism. I'm here to represent the unhoused.
I understand.
And when I go to Skid Row, the data shows and my life experience shows that most of them did not get to go to UCLA like I did.
The data, bro. Do you feel like you can be? Do you feel like you can be exceptional? It's a yes or no question.
And I'm not answering your question. I represent the unhoused. I'm not here to be an anomaly. I'm here to represent the people.
Okay.
I was gonna say, here's just one thing. I was gonna say, you brought up the race inequality. I would also like to address the gender inequality. I'm a female. Do you know how it's crazy for me as a female to even have a job in my country? So coming to America, I was at a disadvantage too, you know? I didn't speak any English, zero. I had zero connections, no friends, nothing. So of course I could have played the whole, I'm an immigrant, I don't speak English, I'm a female card, but I didn't, you know? So I think you can really get out of it, and it is tough for everyone, but you know, you can't be stuck in this mindset.
So for you to say poverty is a choice, I'm a responder. If you say poverty is a choice, then you've just insulted all the women that are in Skid Row. All the women like my mother who went missing in 2011, chronically homeless. These are some of the women who are assaulted, some of the most vulnerable women in this city, and you've said that their poverty is a choice. They're choosing to be intense, being assaulted,
but a lot of them
and
do
go through what
drugs
they're going
too.
through.
A lot of them do drugs. So.
What do you mean by the drug part though?
Because I know a lot of people that are on the streets do drugs, and I've luckily, thank God, I've never touched a single drug, because even if there's 1% chance you could get addicted. I just don't want to take that chance, because I see how those people live, and I would never want to end up like that.
But that gets to my point, I think, about is poverty a choice? Because the drug abuse, the drug addiction is a big part of that. About 6 years ago, I met this guy, and I was already not doing very well, and he pulled out.
I actually want to talk about really quickly about what that guy mentioned, that he didn't want to answer the question. And the thing about opportunity, the thing is opportunities everywhere, but the chances of opportunity going your way, that plays a part too. Because hey, I can be in a room full of opportunity, but if I don't engage myself, or they don't engage with me and maybe provide me with the opportunity, how am I supposed to have opportunity? People always say, hey, do social media as opportunity. Like, that's opportunity for you to be a millionaire. Yeah. Like, there's a difference between possible and probable. Possible is that doesn't matter if it's a 1% chance or a 99% chance. It is possible. That is a different. That is what possible means. Probability is what are the chances of that happening, right? Here's an example. It would be like, hey, right now I only have management experience, right? If I decided to want to go ahead and apply for a CEO position, what, right? And then I go and apply for a manager position, which one is more probability for me to get a CEO job or this manager job, which is where a lot of my experience is. So that's what I don't like about the opportunity angle is like, yeah, opportunities everywhere, but you're not guaranteed it. There's opportunity in winning the lottery, and not a lot of people win the lottery. So oh god, I wish I was on this show. I would have been cooking, chat. I would have been cooking. All right, let's continue. This is gonna go to teeing up, but I think let's move on to the next topic. Let's actually move on to the next topic. We're gonna spend only a couple minutes on it.
It's homelessness.
Let's go, baby. Stand on business.
Yeah, so my perspective is whether you're looking at laissez-faire capitalism and you're looking at the industrialists and those who were, ultra rich, that created a system where the majority of the people are living in poverty, and many of those people do not have homes. It's an exploitative system. And those who have access to the capital, usually passed down as wealth through generations, wealth transfers from grandfathers, fathers to grandchildren, children, and those of us who are locked out of that capital are the exploited labor pool. So being homeless, they subsidize our labor in Los Angeles. They'll even go to the point where you will get a subsidized job where the employer gets to use your labor for free. They don't have to pay you a penny. I've worked many subsidized jobs. Capitalism is the system that does this. Socialism, systems where we all work together. Communism, systems where we all get an opportunity, we're working together, egalitarian, or those who have are actually helping to take care of those who don't. They don't create homelessness. They actually make sure to prevent homelessness. So capitalism is an insidious system that keeps many of us locked out of wealth, that keeps many of us in homeless shelters and dying on the streets homeless.
You're really, well.
Yo, he's solid. He cooking. That was great. I love that. I think capitalism is the extreme. I think that's what it is. Because he talked about socialism and how socialism is that we all work together. That's more of a balanced approach. And then I think egalitarian, whatever the fuck that word. I've heard of it, but I don't use that shit in my vocabulary. Oh my god, let me see. I think that is when the rich help the poor. Egalitarian. Let me see. Let's see if I can Google this real quick, chat. Make sure I know what the fuck he's talking about. Egalitarian is relating to or believing in principles that all people are equal and deserve equal rights. Okay, egalitarian, then that's probably socialism. Let me see, same as socialism. No, okay, so the two are close. Okay. Okay, so the difference between egalitarianism and socialism is that egalitarianism is from day one like a foundation. From a foundational standpoint, that means that we're all equal. That means we all get housing, we all get food, we all get water, regardless if someone makes more money than somebody or not. We know that that's a no-go. You can't touch, like, everyone gets that no matter what. That's what egalitarianism is. Socialism comes more to the laws that get placed. So specifically for the economic and political system. So there are certain laws that will be equal. Like, let's use housing, since this is a housing. Housing, is it going to cost more than 10% of someone's income? So if someone makes $50,000 and they say it can't exceed more than 10% of their income, that would be $5,000 a year, right? Let's say another example. Let's say these three people they have a farm and they build food. The government comes and collects it and distributes it equally and puts it with the other food. That would be another form of egalitarianism. What the fuck that word is? Oh my god. And then in a specific economic and political system, a law that would be for everyone. Okay, no one can lose a job. You can't fire people. Or what I mentioned in the earlier of the video, the government can't use insider secrets to get themselves ahead. We know they do, because the thing is, like, who's gonna, unless it's one of them that just turns on each other, that's the only way for that to happen, right? You can argue that there is a law, but the law isn't effective enough. So that's pretty much the difference to it. So, I like his position. Really great position.
Educated on all this stuff. The way I see it, I guess, in the capitalist system, there's not really much of an incentive to help unhoused people. In fact, I feel like there's an incentive to kind of push the unhoused people down, push them away. And as someone on the streets, or who was recently on the streets, I could feel that pressure. Like, I felt it whenever I walked into a store and then I felt like I wasn't wanted. Security would meet me, people would go away, or people moved away from me at the bus, or seeing a bus stop. You know how there's that rod in the middle of the bus stop? And you know that the city deliberately put that little rod there to prevent somebody from being able to lay down because they don't want us there. And I think a capitalist system does incentivize that. And I don't know the solution. I don't know much about socialism versus capitalism and all that, but I just know our current economic system is devaluing the interconnectedness of humanity.
Exactly. And economists and others can speak of capitalism as if these systems are in a vacuum, but in reality, these systems are tied into our reality as lived human beings. So we have to deal with white supremacy in our capitalist system. 40% of the homeless here in Los Angeles are African American, and there are historical causes and reasons for that. So while someone who was white or who was brown or who was a newly arrived immigrant can show up and say, hey, those black people, they just don't want to work hard enough, they're lazy, it's their culture, all of these excuses and myths that they want to make up, there's actually historical reasons for why our communities were destroyed, like in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, for why highways were built through our communities, for why you have Nuri Martinez and others on the hot mic in the city council saying that they don't like the blacks, redlining, and all the exploitation that we experience, all of what we still deal with on a daily basis. This is all part of capitalism, and they're mistreating us. Like you said, they won't even just let us lay on a bus stop. They don't even look at us as human beings. That is an insidious system.
I was gonna say, Russia actually also had slavery. Did you know that? They enslaved their own people too, and they killed millions of their own, but no one ever, talks about that. They worked on the fields, 16-hour days. It was the same thing. But again, that happened like 100 years ago. Slavery in the United States, of course, it's a huge part, but that happened like 300 years ago. That was their life, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to do that. I didn't use that to come in here and say, oh, I have a tough life too. It's a man's world out here. I just should give up, you know?
No, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. See, my situation is nothing like yours. I don't know what you're talking about. You were able to come over here, like you said, as an immigrant and access white privilege that was put into place for you to access. Meanwhile, like I said, my father was born before the passage of the Civil Rights Act, born without civil rights, drank from segregated drinking fountains. My grandmother was born a sharecropper and escaped out of that situation. And the ending of slavery is not suddenly a glorious moment for African Americans like you're trying to paint it to be. It ended 100 years ago. No, we still deal with the issues today. So I don't know what you're talking about. I dealt with racism in my own life. I walk down Los Feliz, I get arrested for the color of my skin, stopped, detained, questioned, profiled, even held in jail without being convicted of a crime. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay.
You speaking on Africans and African Americans and our experience and trying to compare it to Russians, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I'm also black. I've gone through the same type of racism, the same N-words, the same small hick towns, all that stuff the same. And I never look at it. I never think about it like that. It's like, why does everyone have to bring up something that held someone else back? It's always, oh man, they did this to the blacks, or the blacks did this, or the Mexicans did this, or what about the good things? What about hey, did you see that dunk? Did you see that garb?
Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of negativity around capitalism all the time, and I totally understand it. And if you look at the system that we have in place right now, and you blame, government bureaucrats for being in bed with the billionaires and the business owners and all that kind of stuff, and you think, oh, that's a big problem, which I hear a lot from people. That's not capitalism. That's cronyism. That's where business interest and government interest are inextricably linked. Capitalism just means private ownership over the means of production. As we were standing back there, you're talking about socialism and communism. I mean, that's a slippery slope to go down. You would know.
Yeah.
I come from a country that's more socialist leaning. We do pay a bit higher taxes, but we have universal health care, right? And you look at, the happiness index of Denmark, you look at Norway, look at Finland. These are places that have a mix of capitalism and socialism. I'm not saying pro-socialism in any way.
What the? Yeah, I'm a little confused. Yo, let me find out it was you, Jubilee, that copyrighted my video. I promise you, I will react to all your videos within guidelines of YouTube and just capitalize off your guys' names. Please do not let me find out that's exactly what happened. It's a promise. I was gonna go a little bit further, but nah. But it's just a warning. You or Jack, I've never heard of Jack really copywriting people. But if I found out it was you, Jack, same thing. I'm an equal opportunist. So let's move on to another video, just in case it was Jubilee that went ahead and said that. Let's say let's react to this one. Why so many people regret buying their car in 2025.
You guys told me don't.
All right.
Get a Kia. Told me don't get a Kia. What did I do? I got a Kia.
What is one bad financial?
Yo, she started off great. She said, hey, what do you guys tell me to do? Tell me not to do. I did that. Fucking stupid. That's what happens when you're dumb. You just can't. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Not in playback speed. Alright, yo. I imagine if you tell them instead, I guarantee you won't be successful. I guarantee you won't be a millionaire before 40. I wonder if they would be a millionaire. We should try that psychological experiment. Each person you see, you should tell them you're never going to be a millionaire. And see if they do it. Because as you can see in this video, if you tell people to that they're not going to be a millionaire, then most likely they will want to be a millionaire. So I don't know. Very interesting. Alright, I gotta make sure ain't people still trying to copyright my shit. Cause that was crazy. Let's see, maybe I gotta go back to the home channel. I was like, everything still shows like it's running. Just got a dashboard. Get them through the dash. Oh, did I not have? Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I was like, we still up. We still live. I think. Let me verify real quick. I ain't too hip to this. Okay, yeah. Okay. We're gonna close that one. Keep this one open. All right, we back in, baby. All right.
Decision that you're making in life?
Probably buying a new car after I just finished nursing school.
Here is your reminder. If you are wanting to buy a GMC Yukon.
Wait, I missed it. Ugh.
I mean, don't get a Kia. What did I do? I got a Kia.
What is one bad financial decision that you're making in life?
Probably buying a new car after I just finished nursing school.
Why are you like this? So you're already in debt because of nursing school. That's not cheap. And then we're gonna get into more debt for a car. Why are you like this? Why are you slow? Oh my god, whatever. Let's continue.
As your reminder, if you are wanting to buy a GMC Yukon Denali, don't do it.
Okay, so we have a solid de-influence.
Duh. Why would I wanna buy a GMC anyway? If I'm gonna expend money, SUV money, might as well get the creme of the creme. Get a G-Wagon. Get a Range Rover. Why get a GMC? Would you rather have a luxury headache or a poor person's headache? I don't know. You tell me. Alright, let's hop into this next first video.
Here is your reminder, if you are wanting to buy a GMC Yukon Denali, don't.
Oh, okay, we already saw that. Okay, same person. Alright, here we go.
For the 8th time since June, my 2021 Palisade now has a brand new engine, a brand new alternator, a brand new radiator twice, a brand new heater core, brand new transmission, all done in the last 5 months.
Nah, pack it up. You guys just giving me a whole brand new car. You guys gonna deal with all this brand new problems. Fuck that. I would have made him give me an entirely brand new car. I was like, it's not. It's the car. So you guys keep that shit. You guys. You guys go ahead and give me a brand new car, cause yeah, we not doing that. We not doing that. That's crazy work.
It has been such an experience.
All right, if anybody's out there looking to purchase the new 2026 Chevy Equinox, I would advise to not do it. I just bought a car less than 24 days ago for the Labor Day sale, and it's currently been in the shop twice. And I got a call yesterday saying there is now an engine problem and a computer problem. So honestly, if
Well, that it's just not them. It's just not Chevrolet. It's Honda's having problems. Toyota's being problems. The cars that are reliable, they are having problems. So it doesn't matter what brand new car you get, you are gonna run into that problem. So, yeah, interesting.
you don't know, never buy a Chevy Equinox. Don't do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut it off there. You guys get the gist. We could truly.
Okay, we're not here for your opinion. Okay, 60 seconds, both. $1,100 car payment, yes, my type of video.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna talk about car payments. Get ready. Okay, so my car payment currently is $1,100 a month. I know, it's very scary, and I wish I was joking. But once upon a time, I was young and dumb, and I was part of very irresponsible decisions. And now I'm literally paying the price. So, anyways, I have a...
Yo, she not lying. She literally paying the price. Yo, that's a hard pun right there. She paying the price. Yeah, should have never been stupid. Shit, this is why my payments are $271 a month. That is completely doable, and that is my max, honestly. I do not want to deal with any payments above that, because insurance enough is like... Insurance is like $200 to $300 a month, so I'm already paying like $600 for both that, and that's not even counting maintaining the car. Oh my god, I hate that. We're gonna continue before I get fucking mad.
2024 Toyota Highlander, which I absolutely love, and no complaints there. It's just obviously the price. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just stuck.
All right, so there were a few things there. She said she was young.
Okay.
Picture perfect example of somebody buying a vehicle just for the badge on the front and back.
Yeah, it's a front-wheel drive A-Class with no options, 98,000 miles. It doesn't even have a premium package.
I didn't see it on there.
Well, this is not much redeeming about this particular car. Yeah, literally zero options. This car had an MSRP of $35,090. Hard to believe.
Yeah, that's insane.
But you know, the A-Class being the entry-level car and front-wheel drive, so no charge for Formatic.
Right.
And not a single option. 17-inch wheels, no premium package, so it's got the little tiny screens.
Yeah.
And it's worth $7,500. I mean, it's got a bad
Cap. That's why I hate dealerships. They only want to give it $7,500. So there's a difference in between pricing whenever they get the value. They're always lowballing it. Their offers are always a low ball. So don't ever fall for that based off the dealership. They're seeing that is because they have to now sell the car, so they want money in order. They want to be able to oversell you in a car, but also pay you less for your trade-in, so then they can make more money and they can make double the money. See what I mean? That's why I don't get this. This is why I don't feel bad for dealerships. Them and people that sell houses. But the difference between the people that sell houses and the dealership is that they don't need to go through a business. Like, you don't need to sell your house through a realtor, but you can, which makes sense for most people because most people don't want to educate themselves, so they rather just pay it. Not me. I've approved mortgage loans and consumer loans, like personal and auto loans. So I understand that process more than the average person. So I'll be fine. But can never be me. But $7,500, his car is not worth $7,500. Bullshit.
bad Carfax to top it all off.
It's a 12.5 negative.
A lot of damage on it.
She's hoping to be around $700 a month on something new, but we gotta roll $12,500 into something.
Well, yeah, so that's about, what, $400 a month in negative?
All just to be able to drive that Mercedes, right? Still being upside down $12,500 in a car that's only worth $7,500, but that's what happens when you buy the basic entry model vehicle with zero options. And even with vehicles getting more and more expensive nowadays, you could have taken that $35,000 MSRP and most likely gotten some other sedan, maybe even slightly used, with a lot more features and reliability. I'd rather have a fully loaded Camry than a bare bones Benz. There you go. She bought a car with no features for the badge. How on earth are people so upside down in vehicles? Well, this particular one, how many times have you even seen A-Class on the road? Nobody really wants these things in the first place, so if you do buy it, the secondhand market is going to be brutal. On top of it, of course, still being a luxury brand, they depreciate faster. Another comment from you guys, I worked at a nationwide rental car company. Rented all kinds of cars, and all the different Jeeps, Wagoneers, Wranglers, Gladiators were by far the most returned via tow truck, compared to all of the other cars that we rented. So I think this is a good segue to some of the clips that I still see from dealerships trying.
Oh shit, I forget we can't be trying to
New Rubicon has 2,000 miles on it. Going to be selling it for around 82,000. Let me know if you're interested.
You'd rather just give it away. You better just tell someone, hey, $20,000 for this car. You better. Shh. No one's gonna pay you 82. I'm here to tell you, not gonna. That's a lie. People have been paying for these prices, but the average person, the people that are watching these type of videos, yeah, we don't pay 82,000 for those pieces of shits. That's at most maybe 20. If I'm really being nice, 10. Yeah, we went down. So crazy work. Can't believe he really, he really sounded so casual when he said that shit.
$82,000 for a Jeep.
pass.
To the comments because they're so funny. We can just keep going on with another example here.
People are saying this vehicle right here absolutely kills the Toyota RAV4. Let's check it out. So here it is. This is the 2026 GMC Acadia Elevation.
That's literally all we have to see for the.
We know GMC is trash. I'm still taking that Toyota. Look, remember how I talked about in the video?
I regret buying a RAV4 hybrid, not because of the car, but because of the markups. So with it being more known that Toyotas have better reliability compared to the Acadia that we just saw, we're still seeing outrageous prices in 2025. I mean, here's a RAV4 clip.
Over $49,000 for a Toyota RAV4. I can't believe that a Toyota RAV4 can even cost this much, and they're going to keep selling them, but they have much. I mean, they start in the 30s. So to see one go up $20,000 because of leather and maybe a hybrid system or something, that's insane, man. That is insane. Then you got to deal with the Gulf State add-ons. It's just a complete mess right now.
So does that look like it's worth $50,000?
No. You know that shit don't look like that. Gotta stop cursing. Okay.
And gas, you might also have to pay a yearly tax just to be able to drive around in your vehicle.
I live in Virginia, and in Virginia, even if you own your vehicle, you still have to pay taxes on it every single year. It's called personal property taxes, and it can affect your cars, trailers that you have, campers, RVs, boats, anything along the lines of that. Even though you pay taxes on it when you purchase it, you are still going to pay taxes on it every single year, even if it's paid off. So let's review our bill because it just came in the mail yesterday. The way it works is the county gets an assessed value for your item. So whether that's your car, camper, whatever it is, they give you an assessed value. And then there is a rate per $100 that you pay. This year's rate is $2.35 per $100 of the piece of property that you own. And then they charge you per month that you own that item. So if you had your car for 12 months, they're going to charge you for 12 months. If you owned it for 6 months and then got a different car, they'll charge you for the first 6 months for the first car and then the second 6 months for the second car. But for us to own our personal property in the state of Virginia this year.
Yo, I just realized she said, like, I heard her, but I thought that was just the way that they talk over there in Virginia. But she says they have to pay taxes on stuff that they have a value? Because I'm thinking what she's paying for is just to register the car. No, that's not including registration. Oh, shit, that's $2,100 and... There's a zero that comes through. $104.45. That is crazy work. Wow.
$2,104.45 is what we have to pay to the county right before Christmas time.
So I could add on to that with my personal experience. I used to live in New Jersey, and moving down to North Carolina, we also have to do this as well. Of course, the bill would be lower if you have an older vehicle that's valued less than a brand new
So yeah, don't ever go to South Carolina. Nah, pack it up.
Reddit.
This is absolutely crazy. This is a 2015 Chevy Cruze LT, 86,000 miles, $12,000. You literally could have bought this new. We're very close to that price. And I'm looking at this interior, like, this looks really clean. And then I go to sit down. Like, what? How is the foam disintegrated? Like, that right there, it's metal. Can you imagine spending $12,000 on a car? The driver's seat is so clapped out that you cannot sit in it properly. I feel like I'm sunk into the seat, and then I got a stabbing metal piece in my back. Like, that's the way you want to buy a car.
For $12,000 as well for a Chevy Cruze, 86,000 miles? I have a 2015 Civic, and for around that price, you could get similar mileage, and at least you're in a Honda Civic, something reliable, and will also hopefully not have an absolutely destroyed driver's seat. I really don't know what dealers are thinking when they decide to put...
This is insane. 7-year car loans are everywhere now. A shocking 22.4% of new car buyers are signing up for 84-month or longer loans, and 36.1% are going with 6-year terms. People are stretching payments longer and longer in order to afford new cars.
It'd be that way. I don't blame them, but at the same time, they don't need to get a brand new car. That's the problem. And the thing is that they're paying higher insurance premiums. They're paying higher costs for mechanics. For me, I always tend to get something that is older for the sheer fact that so insurance won't be so high. I won't have to pay so much in pieces, and then limiting my technology in cars because I like to be able to work on my car. So yeah, I don't like that. That's crazy. But again, this is why people are broke. Hence the title of the video, Broke versus Millionaire.
Cars that now average about $50,000. And it sounds doable until you see the fallout. Nearly 1 in 5 buyers are paying over $1,000 a month, and negative equity on trade-ins hit 26.6%, with the average underwater balance roughly $6,754. Now, sure, longer terms lower monthly payments, but they also cost you way more over time. Yep. The extra interest on an 84-month loan can add up to thousands compared with a 5-year term, and negative equity locks you into a cycle where you keep rolling debt into the next car. That affordable monthly payment can become a lifelong trap if life ever changes for you.
And that's when it starts becoming very difficult when you do realize that you regret your purchase. You shouldn't have gotten the $60,000 Wrangler. Or to be honest, most modern vehicles today. The depreciation hits the car immediately, so even if you try to trade it in a year or two later, you're most likely going to be a part of the statistics with heavy negative equity. And something to add on top of this with the comment section, the engines and transmissions aren't even making it 5 years.
What is one bad financial decision that you regret making in life?
Getting my dream car.
Getting your dream car?
Yeah.
What was your dream car?
2025 M3J80.
Oh yeah, you got that car?
Yeah, look.
Wait, hold on. Why'd you get it?
Why? That's always been my dream car since a kid.
I know, but like, did you like the motor? Did you like how it drives? Did you like BMWs? Or?
I like the interior. I like how it drives, so smooth. I like the way it is. Like, it looks mean.
Yeah, you've always been into like German engineering?
Yeah, I was into cars since my young age. My dad always showed me cars. I fixed like cars with him since I always wanted cars.
Okay, I feel that. What's that monthly payment looking like?
So right now I'm paying $1,300.
$1,300 a month?
Yeah.
Without insurance?
Without. With is.
Are you struggling in probability and statistics? Do you have a hard time understanding your instructor? Do you wish there was a simpler way?
$1,600.
$1,600?
Yeah, sir.
Is it worth it? He said.
So what I got out of that clip is he's paying $1,600 a month to look cool. The interview.
He ain't lying. Yo, he's not lying. Yo, $1,600? Damn, not even me. I have my dream car is a Nissan Skyline, a 1999, and they go for about like, you can find some under 100,000, but the payments on that alone would be crazy. I was like, I already see these people get like people that have bad credit when I approve loans, and they're getting like a $30,000 car. Their payments end up being like in the 700s. I'm like, yo, I can't do a payment, and this is for 7 years, 6 to 7 years, 700 to 800. I'm like, that's too much. Like, if it's gonna be for that long, yo, I gotta be paying like $2 something. Ain't no way that I'm gonna be paying $800 for a loan for 7 years. Ain't no, that's crazy. I can't do it. Nah, fuck all that.
Worth it. So as you know, the new 6.2 liter L87 engine has a recall for the engine's locking up, loss of propulsion, and this vehicle had this recall done less than 1,000 miles ago.
Damn.
Had the 040 oil updated, new oil cap, and here we have an oil sample. Hold this. The engine has failed in under 1,000 miles of having that recall done.
Whoa.
So the 040 is not the fix. The 020 oil isn't the problem. The rod bearings inside these engines are what's the issue.
So imagine buying a pickup truck having a whole bunch of problems, going through a recall, everything apparently being fixed, and within 1,000 miles, the engine fails. I don't know about you, but I'd regret my purchase pretty heavily. I swear, every time I think about
that is crazy. I couldn't fathom going through that. I could not. Wow. Wow. You spent all this money and your car just goes bad. That's crazy work. Crazy, crazy work.
Yeah. I have a 2022 Kia K5 GT line with 22,700 miles. I bought for $34,000. I pay $634.98 a month. My interest rate is 11.49%, and my car insurance is $155 a month. I made a bad financial decision based off of needing a car for my work. My credit is a 630. I tried refinancing with Navy Fed, but they denied me. Trading it in if possible, or should I lease? I've been denied before, but I'm not giving up. What should I do? I have a 630 credit score, and Navy Fed denied you. It's probably because of the loan to value is just way out there, meaning that the car is worth 20, you owe 32. You got to put down a negative equity or that difference.
But again, another one of the examples.
Yeah, start paying down your car. You're in negative equity. You wouldn't get out of the car. Yeah, You gotta save up for that down payment to bring down for the negative equity. You just can't slide. They're not gonna let you slide. So get it together. This is why you don't go into debt with cars. I already understood with my car, I'm losing value on it every day, but I enjoy driving it. So that really what keeps me from you. That's what, keeps me with the car, is that I enjoy the way it makes me feel. So yeah, people, start paying down your debts. I'm telling you, you want to see your credit score increase? That's how it's going to increase. You paying down those loans. Amounts owed plays the second biggest factor. Do you not understand this? Like, that's why your credit is where your credit is at, because you have too much debt. So what's included? That means all your loans as a whole. It's just not rating you on all your loans as a whole. It's rating on that. Every individual loan, what is the credit utilization on the revolving account? How long ago did you open it? All those things play a damn part. So I don't know how you guys can't see. I don't know why you guys are running into these problems. I don't get it. You guys gotta go see a therapist or something. Go get some help. Also, if you're in my channel, you need help, book me for a consultation. George, the credit expert at Gmail. I can help you. Like, you guys are the ones that are making this more difficult for yourselves. If you guys don't want to learn from me or don't want to learn from somebody else, whatever happens, happened. That's life, I guess. Alright, let's continue this video.
You guys told me don't get a Kia. Told me don't get a Kia. What did I do? I got a Kia. I got the 20.
For a living. Every single customer that I have worked on has said, I regret buying these. I will never, ever buy another one. The first one is 2012 to 2022 Buick Encore with a 1.4 liter Ecotec turbo. So now we're going to move on to SUV number 2. It is the 2006 to 2017 Jeep Patriot or Compass. I know there's a lot of Jeep guys out there that are really into Jeeps, but these ones are not the ones to buy. They're very unreliable and they don't age well. Now, SUV number 3 is going to be any of the Ford Expedition or Excursion with the 5.4...
What? The 5.4 3-valve? No way.
Yes, that one, guys. Now, the fourth SUV, Mrs. Wizard and I have actually had one before, but it wasn't for very long before we got rid of it. 2006 to 2010 Jeep Commander. Do you remember that one, Mrs. Wizard?
Oh yeah, that thing was terrible. It rained on top of us. Literally on top of us.
Yes, it was really bad. SUV number 5 is 2001 to 2008 Chevy Trailblazer. Yes, those Trailblazers. And SUV number 6, which you guys already know about, is any Chevy Traverse, GMC Acadia, or Buick Enclave. Don't buy any of them. You say, well, which years are the worst? I would say all of them.
And unfortunately, we've seen examples of people buying that or the dealer trying to sell you on the new Acadia earlier in this video. But this clip is much longer, going into detail with
Let's see how much you need to make to comfortably afford a 2026 Honda CR-V. So the model option we went with was the CR-V all-wheel drive EX, and the total price for this came out to be right around $36,000. However, when you multiply by some percent sales tax, you get a brand new total of around $39,000. After taking the final cost of the vehicle, add 20% down, finance at 5% for a total of 60 months, you're left with a total monthly payment of around $590 a month. The typical average insurance cost for a Honda CR-V is going to be right around $2,000 a year, so it's roughly going to be around $169 a month. However, insurance is going to vary for everyone. The average annual maintenance cost on a Honda CR-V is going to be between $400 to $500, and this speaks volumes of Honda's reliability, so it's roughly going to be around $33 a month if you were to budget this out. And after we add everything up together, we're left with a total monthly payment of around $793 a month, and if you were to multiply this by 10%, you'll find your monthly gross income, then multiply this by 12 to find your annual gross income, and you roughly should be making around $95,000 a year to be able to very comfortably afford a 2026 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive EX.
And I don't think that happens much at all in the real world when people start
with a total monthly payment of around $793 a month, and if you were to multiply this by 10%, you'll find your monthly gross income, then multiply this by 12 to find your annual gross income, and you roughly should be making around $95,000 a year, and you'll find your monthly gross income, then multiply left with a total monthly payment of around $793 a month, and if you were to multiply this by 10%, you'll find your monthly gross income, then multiply this by 12 to find your annual gross income, and you roughly should be making around $95,000 a year to be able to very comfortably afford a 2026 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive EX.
And I don't think that happens much at all in the real world. When people start hitting that six-figure mark, they immediately...
He's not wrong. He is not wrong. Wow. This has been a really great stream. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys were able to learn something today. If not, thanks for coming. See the subscribing as it's a means to an end.